all time.
I don't have enough of past NASCAR watching to actually put that together, but
So I think when that question raises, you're looking at Richard Petty, Dale Earnhardt, or Jimmy Johnson. They all have 7 championships.
I would say
Richard Petty has the most wins ever. If he has what, over 500 or something like that.
I'm going Petty. I think so.
I also think Petty and Earnhardt raced in a lot stronger NASCAR era where there were different types of cars. You actually had to do your own work.
so. Going along with what Kale was just saying, because Jimmy Johnson has those 7 and he was racing in the very limited, restricted Cup Series, he's probably your best overall driver, whereas with a car that isn't just gonna be outright stronger than everyone else's, because he probably was one of the better limited drivers when you're going head to head with somebody else in a perfectly equal car.
As a Jeff Gordon fan, I have to ask,
I was getting to him.
is he top 10?
Jeff Gordon is fighting Jimmy Johnson for the best driver. He was always one of the best drivers. You just don't hear anything about him because he didn't win those 7 championships because of the Cup Series playoffs. The way when he was at his best, the way it was working out. He didn't actually.
That was a point system
He
back
didn't.
then, right?
Yeah, he wasn't that guy for that playoffs. Jimmy Johnson was. Gordon was a great driver. There's nothing against him, but like Jimmy Johnson just was the best at getting the points.
I think NASCAR, you can make a case that there's era goats instead of one specific.
Absolutely. Because of how different the cars are, every time they get a new car, you can't say.
You can say like 70s and 80s was Petty, 90s was Earnhardt, or 80s and 90s was Earnhardt, or whatever you want.
Bill Elliott was also a really good driver too.
Yes. And then 2010s, you could say, or 2000s, you could say Johnson and Gordon.
I will say, even though he doesn't have the track record, before he got hurt, Chase Elliott was a really, really strong driver. But when he got in that skiing or snowboarding accident and he broke his tibia, he hasn't been the same since. He's been slowly getting back, but I feel like
It takes a while. For any athlete, that's a crazy injury.
Well, it might be physical, it might be mental. Physically, because you're holding that gas pedal and brake pedal and whatever down the entire race. That's a lot of leg work. Maybe he's just not as strong as he was before. Maybe he's got a mental block where he's like kind of holding back because he doesn't want to hurt himself again.
Bowman had a surgery on his vertebrae, right?
He broke his back in 21, I think.
So that's kind of when him and Elliott kind of fell off a little bit, is when they had their injuries.
Yeah, Bowman was a strong driver before that.
That was kind of the push up of Larson and Byron at that same time.
Well, it's a good thing Larson and Byron drive for Hendricks too.
Well, I will argue that having the Hendricks card in and of itself puts you in a pretty good spot to begin with.
Yeah, it does something for you.
Hendricks is the main Chevy company, so like they get all the best Chevy equipment.